Space.
Good morning, everyone. Very good morning. Dr. Rao here. Starting the morning routine to prepare our body with stretching and deep breathing, and to really be in the present by focusing on the breath and also the sensations as we stretch in the body. And any thoughts come up, observe them. And we want to go out with an attitude of not to react too much to trivial things at work, and cultivate an attitude of service because we just want to serve other people. For me, it's the divinity in everybody that I want to service. And we want to take both wins and losses equanimous. So let's do the four things we want to do: stretch our body, deep breathe, keep our mind here, and watch our thoughts. Okay, be that witness conscious. So routine we do is warm up with the breathing and do the few stretches with the alignment of body, breath, and the brain. And then we will do an exercise called Shambhavi Mudra, where we want to be the witness consciousness watching the thoughts. Be the witness of your thoughts. Okay, we will do it at the end. Let's start with a preliminary 3 breaths that really warm us up and really prepare us for the stretches that we are going to do. Okay, sit straight with the back not supported by the anything, and close your mouth and take deep breaths through the nose as the abdomen wall raises, and hold it for a few seconds. And as the hand goes towards the spine, the hand on the abdomen, that means the abdomen wall going to the spine, you expel the air on a count of 8. Okay, 7, 4, 8. Let us do few of them. Okay, watch my hand on the abdomen, the right hand raising and falling. Okay, that makes the deep diaphragmatic breathing is happening. Okay, let's start. 4 done. 4 more. Okay, 8 rotations. Okay, you can do few as you build up the capacity or more, but this is something you want to do on empty stomach, and before lunch, before dinner also is a good time to do this. If you just do this Bastrika 8 times in the morning, 8 times in the afternoon, 8 times in the evening, that is good enough for the breathing exercise. Okay, I want to make it simple, but you could go much deeper according to your diseases, according to your age, according to your gender. We modify. Pranayama is a very, very fundamental yogic practice, but this is preliminary breathing. Now raise both your hands to the camera, and as you take the elbows are bent, your palms are facing the camera. Okay, I'm on camera on Instagram and YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Okay, now as you take the deep breath, let the hands go up over the head and all the way up, all the way up. Okay, take deep breath in as you go up. Now come down, breathing out. This is a very simple exercise you can do a number of times while working at the office in the chair. You don't have to get up even. So the third one also you can do, but it may look too much there. So you do it in the morning and in the evening. Clasp your hands, put them under the chin, elbows bent, and then as the elbows raise to the side and head going back, take a deep breath in. At the top, open the mouth and breathe out, saying the word ah. Deep, slow breath, deliberate deep breath, slow for a purpose. You will open up the entire lungs with this breath. Okay, you can do as many times as you want, as much as your body allows you. Build up the capacity. Okay, those are the three preliminary waking up breaths you can do. Okay, actually, I do the Bastrika right after I open my eyes. Okay, now let's do the hand rotations, rotating the hand at the wrist and going to the side, both hands. Do them firmly so that all the muscles are involved. And then rotating in the opposite direction, come back to the center all the way. And you can do two more. Let's do 3 times. Okay. Put some muscle into that rotation of the wrist. Breathe in and breathe out. As you go out, breathe in. As you come in, breathe out. Okay. Now go up above the shoulder, above the head. Go up, rotating the hands on the wrist. And moving in the opposite direction, come down. Two more. All the way up and come down. Last one, going up. Put some muscle into the rotation of the wrist on the hands. And actually, hands on the wrist, sorry. Okay. And now go forward. Extend elbows forward. And then come back as you breathe out. Two more. See, this simple exercise right after you get up will help you to remember most of the joints of the upper part. Okay. So it's a very simple thing you can do sitting on the edge of the bed. Okay. Very simple one. Okay. That wakes up most of the joints of the. Okay. And now we're going to do some spinal twists. Intertwine both your hands like this, fingers, and then clasp them together and turn the palms towards the camera and extend the elbows straight forward. Okay, and now bring up both hands like that, clasped together over your head all the way, and then stretch your elbows to stretch to the ceiling. Few breaths there. Now turn your torso to the left, and turn your head over the left shoulder to the back. And stay there for 3 breaths. And come back. And this time turn the torso to the right. And stay there by turning the head over the right shoulder to the back. Remember, we always want to be here and now. Deep breath with each stretch we do, and do both sides of the body. Okay, those are the simple things, simple rules. Okay, to get the benefit out of it. Now, place your right hand on the left shoulder and left hand on the right shoulder. And now twist the torso to the left and turn the head over the left shoulder to the back. Feel the stretch on the right side. Come back to the center and do it on the right side. Remember to keep our mind here, be in touch, be aware of the air moving in and out of the nose, or the stretches that you feel. Like now, I feel the stretch on the left side of the neck. Be with that. That way, you'll automatically keep the mind here and now. What is happening in this moment? Don't go on vagabonding in thinking whatever that comes. Be intentional. Okay, develop that attention. Okay, and now we're going to do the twist at the lumbar spine. So for this, put the right hand at the left hip and bring the left hand from the behind to the right side of the chair and hold on to the whatever leg or whatever you have on the right side of the chair. And then twist to the left and turn the head over the left shoulder to the back. And come back to center and do the same on the opposite side. Okay. And turn the torso to the right and the head over the right shoulder to the back. You can come up on the heels to have the stretch in the legs also. That means you are on the toes, lifted the heels, like I'm doing now. Okay. So very simple. stretches deliberately are doing for people of my age or the people with chronic diseases. Okay, so now let's after the spinal stretches, let's do Surya Namaskar sitting down. Okay, be straight in your spine. Don't lean onto the chair, and now show me the hands with the fingers up, to the camera. And as you take deep breath, let them go up, all the way up, all the way up. Elbows completely straighten, but you come up with the deep breathing in. Now lean back with the hands and head a little bit. And now breathing out, come down. Both hands come to with elbows extended. Touch the floor with both hands and touch the head between knees. After 3 breaths, take the right hand and put it on the left foot, and left hand goes up in the air to the side, and turn your head, look at the left palm. Left hand facing down, and left elbow straight, and your head turn towards it. Now do the opposite side. Bring the left hand to the right foot, and right hand goes up with elbow extended, and turning the right head to the right palm. Look at that. Bring them both back to the corresponding feet, and both hands are down now. And now you come up, and this time hold on to the right knee with both hands clasped together, and breathing out, bring the right thigh to the abdomen. Okay, and that's a modified form of sun salutations. You can do any number of times sitting down. Okay, but if you can do a full sun salutation by standing, that's much better. You can do one whole sequence on one side in 1 minute. So in 10 minutes, you can do 10 of them if you have the stamina. But don't rush it. Do it according to the comfort of your body and how you respond. Okay. Now let's go to the head to toe that we do every day, right? Okay. Come back and sit in the front of the chair, and don't lean back into the chair. And now we will start with the toes, ankles, knees, hips, side of the abdomen, chest muscles, shoulders, elbows, wrists, and fingers, and neck, face, and head. Okay, this will be done very quickly and easily. Okay? As you take the deep breath in, raise your both heels and stay on the toes. As you breathe out, bring the heels down and lift up the toes so that you have exercise for the toes and the ankles. Now, number one. Okay, one is done. Now, I will do now counting with each rotation. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, that's for the toes, ankles. Now we come to the knee. Lift up the right foot and show it to the camera by lifting up and straightening the knee all the way. And take the deep breath as the foot coming up, and as it goes down, breathe out. Do it on the left side also. When both feet are done, that's one. We have done one. Now I'll count as we do each one. Breathe in as it comes up. Breathe out as it goes down. Doing both feet and then counting. 2, 3. Don't do it rapidly. Do it deliberately and with focus on the breath and the movement. Stretch forward as much as you can. Okay. 6, 7, 8. Okay. This is for the knees. Only people who are doing only head to toe, I'm showing the whole sequence, including the hip now. The same way we did in the Surya Namaskar. Clasping both hands around the knee, right knee, and then breathing out, bringing the right thigh to touch the abdomen and press on. Do it on the left side. Both hands clasped around the left knee and breathing out, bring the left thigh to touch the abdomen, press on. Okay, that's for the hips. Now we're going to go for the side of our chest and the abdomen. First, keep your feet on the floor and both hands dangling down on the side with the fingers pointing down. Now, taking deep breath, raise the right hand and right elbow straight and shoulder relaxed, and then turn the palm to the sky. Okay? In this position, bring it up all the way up where your right ear is touched with the right arm. And now dip to the left side as you take the deep breath in. As you breathe out, come back. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now lower the right hand to the side and lift up the left hand to the side. Palm facing down, elbow straight, and shoulders relaxed. Turn the palm to the sky and go up and touch the left ear. And then dip to the right side. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Be focused on the stretch you feel in each exercise. We will felt the stretch on the side of it. Now we're going to do the chest muscles. Place both hands on the breastbone and release the right hand, which is on the top, to the side, showing the palm to the camera, elbow straight, and shoulders relaxed. Okay. And now, as you take deep breath in, go back. Twist your head to the right side over the right shoulder and going back. As you breathe out, bring it back to the chest. Now release the left and breathe in, go to the side, twist over the left shoulder and look over the left shoulder with the head and breathe out, come to the center. Let's do 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, that is just chest muscles. Now we have come to the shoulder. Okay, shrug the shoulders. As they go up, take deep breath in, and as they come down, breathe out. Okay? Now, rotate the shoulders as they raise and come forward. Take a deep breath in. As they go down and to the back and breathe out. And do it in the reverse direction. Okay, that's about shoulder rotation. You can do as much as you want. Okay, and now we're going to stretch our hands to the side and palms facing the sky and elbow straight. Now bring the fingers to touch corresponding shoulder as you breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's for the elbows. Now raise both hands to the front and do the up and down movements at the wrist hands. Okay. Now tuck the thumb in and fold the fingers on the top of the thumb and do the up and down movements now at the wrist. Now rotate the wrist one side. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Opposite. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Open the fingers, make a fist. Open the fingers, make a fist. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, there you go. We have come to the neck. Very important, right? Okay. First, taking a deep breath, roll the head back. Breathing out, bring the chin to the chest. Slow, deliberate, deep breathing. Don't let your mind make you hurry. Okay. Two more. From any pain, don't go back. Okay. Now bring the head to the neutral position. Now, as you take deep breath, turn the head to the left side. After the turning completely, breathe out and bring the head to the center. Do it very slow, very deliberate. Awareness of the stretch. Breathing in and out. Okay. Breathing in, you go to the side, and breathing out, you come to the center. That is one. Let's do four more cycles. Three complete. Two more. Okay. Now move the head forward and backward. Okay. Now place the right hand on the top of the right cheek and elbow to the side. Press into the face and release the hand. Do it on the same on the left side. Use both hands to press on the temples and both hands on the forehead and on the top of the head and also on the back of the head. And now you are done. Head to toe all yoga. Basically, we're staying with the move, feeling the stretch, and with the stretch, oxygen is demanded to the place. Deep breathing helps it to nourish it. That's how you generate energy after yoga practice. You should be generating energy after the yoga practice if you're doing it properly. Okay. All right. Now we're going to go to our Shambhavi Mudra to watch our thoughts. We stretch our body. We breathe the energy into the body by deep breathing, and also helps us not to react to everything. And we try to be here and now in the present moment so that we can cultivate that and carry it like a perfume through the day. Be attentive to whatever you do. Okay. And then we are going to watch the thoughts. That's what we're going to do now. Be the witness consciousness that you are when you deep breathe in and out. Okay. Put the hands in meditation mudra. That is the thumb and the index fingers are pressed with each other, and rest of the fingers are straight. And place the hand on the knees, both sides. Okay. And now tilt your head back a little bit and close your eyes. Keep the gaze in the middle of the eyebrows and close your mouth. Take deep breaths through the nose. And as you breathe in, say, I am the witness consciousness. As you breathe out, say, I am not just this body and mind. Inside. Okay. Any thoughts come up, just watch them. Don't suppress them or don't yield to them. You are trying to be the witness, the observer, the watcher of your thoughts. Okay. With that, we can open our eyes and go with an attitude of servicing, taking wins and losses equanimously and not reacting to them emotionally too easily. Okay. I hope this practice helps you to work like that and getting your body, mind prepared and your heart in your work. Okay. Do with this kind of inner resilience you generate with this practice in the morning, I think that will come to you. You can extend the practice as long as you want so that you really feel that inner resilience. Don't leave it, but do every day at least a little bit. Sometimes maybe more, sometimes less, but all the time, every day. Okay. With that, if somebody wants to come and talk to me on the Zoom mic, we'll invite them and say what they have to say. Mark. Hello. Hello, Mark.
Good morning.
Good
So,
morning.
27 people here, that's pretty good.
Doesn't matter. I do it, and then even one person is good enough.
Yeah, I like that attitude. That's a great attitude.
We're not trying to propaganda anything. We're trying to help so that this is kind of reverse engineering of the stress and burnout I see in people because they don't take time to prepare in the morning. So this is kind of little help for them to do. So
Yeah, it's funny. I was just thinking yesterday we had a good conversation, and it's like a couple of things here about your approach. They figured out years ago, and I figured out like 40 years ago that it's very helpful to do one thing in particular. And then I probably figured out 30 years ago it's very helpful to do another thing in particular. And I think about it like almost every day, but I don't do really either of them. I have fits and starts, like I've done it a couple dozen times in my life for both of them, but not very much. I shouldn't do it every day. Anyway, those two things, journaling, right? So you can get out of your head kind of. And then the other thing is, meditation and a full, robust kind of yogic meditation thing. And so you've accused me of being too far in my head. You're exactly right, because I know journaling is the thing.
now remember this, Mark. Remember elephant. Okay.
Yes.
See, what happens is we teach our body and the mind habits that become really elephants.
Yes.
So the only way to really tame that elephant is training. So you also do it slowly because it doesn't happen. Don't think, but do. Right? So that's what I was doing here. I did not invite anybody because I'm doing something I want my friends to do with me. So that if they have some problem, they can talk to me later. But when I'm doing it, I want to be here and now. I am talking because I want to direct people who are uh, doing with me. But basic thing is you focus on what you're doing, you focus on the body, how it is responding, you focus on the breath. That way you can keep your mind here and now. But at the same time, you are doing the exercise. And also I want to make it very simple so that I don't know who out there doing. I don't want anybody to get hurt, by doing
Right.
so start slowly, but if you need more, you can always go to my so many number of videos are there on Instagram and YouTube and all that. They can go there, or they can come to me and ask me help. That's fine too. So elephant
I was
training.
going to say something that probably is helpful. So I trained up to go run a marathon when I was 28, and I got tested by this exercise scientist guy, and he said something that's obvious with hindsight, but I didn't think about it beforehand. He said, to exercise, think of three legs of a stool. Right? Yeah. Obviously, you have to do cardiovascular stuff. We all understand that. And then the other one is like resistance training, so you build up your muscles, and tendons and all that other stuff. So those are the two. Those are obvious. Everybody knows that. But then the third one, he said, is the most neglected, and therefore becomes the most important because it's the most neglected. And of course, we know what that is as soon as he says it, and that is all this stuff: yoga, stretching, all this flexibility training. And he said you would stand to gain a lot in your fitness because you don't do any of that, and you do a lot of resistance stuff, muscle building, and you do a lot of cardio stuff, but you don't do this other. That was 30 years ago. I've been intending to do stretching and yoga stuff like all the time, and I haven't done it. But just let me finish here. The most important thing here, though, is mind, body, and spirit. So who cares about physical fitness if you don't have the same trinity of mind, body, and spirit, and that's what you're working on.
So you see, yoga has these 5 layers of physiology of human personality. The first one is that physical body, right? And that's made up of the food and all that. For that, you need aerobic exercise, stretching, and strengthening. Okay. In yoga, what we did today morning, that seated sun salutations. If you do them, number of them, seating, you can generate that aerobic activity. Okay, and also every time you stretch and you are deep breathing and holding the posture while you are breathing, you are creating demand in the muscles, oxygen. That's why they get strengthened also. But it's a very gentle process. The emphasis here is not just the physical fitness, but how do you prepare for the work? Your body, your brain, everything, right? So by stretching and deep breathing, you generate the energy, and any stiffness and all that will go, and then you're going to focus on what you're doing. That's how you are trying your mind to be attentive, so that all day you can be attentive. A lot of people are not, and then finally cultivate a spirit of service, so that you go and do any job not just for the money, but for the intention of helping somebody. Okay, those are the elements I want people to cultivate, so that they can enjoy the work and also do it with vigorously and not be stressed by the work itself. Okay, so when you do in the spirit of service, lots of time you are giving, and that giving is good for you. So I thought of so many things when I put this one. But if I can see them on Zoom or something, I can correct them. I can tell them warnings about how much they should do, how much they should not. And also, most of the people try to drive them with their intellectual will and mind. That body may not be ready for that. So you have to listen to the body. In this morning session, I want people to listen and focus on the stretches and everything. See, so I get on the treadmill, I do the aerobic, but if I do the sun salutation standing, that's a terrific aerobic activity. That's one of the best aerobic activities I know. Even though I recommend intermittent training and all that, I have a treadmill at office, a treadmill at home too. So we train people all the time in the aerobic, according to how they understood things and all that. But usually they come to my way of doing yoga quite frequently and then enjoy it. See, one thing about yoga is even the aerobic activity are very energetic and pleasurable for you. So that's why they say Sthira Sukham Asana. That means you should have a stable, firm asana that is comfortable for you. What I can do, you may not be able to do. So that's why I keep this very deliberate, sitting down, sometimes standing, very simple. Mark, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I like all that, of course.
Yeah. So what it is take sun salutation, for example. Sometimes I do standing and all that, and then do the 10 in the morning, how you wake up. But according to your cardiovascular capacity, according to your joints and all, so many things are there. That's why personal training of taking what is appropriate for your age, for your body, for your sex, for your conditioning is important.
So I was going to tell a quick anecdote. It's a little embarrassing, but I hope everybody understands. So I've understood this stuff about mind, body, and spirit, and the 3 legs of the stool for fitness, the importance of journaling, and the importance of doing yoga type stuff, and the importance of meditation and all that. But I've also understood for like 30 years that this thing called breath work is like the intro to all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
So it works with mind, body, and spirit. And I've known it, and I've thought about it, and I've actually got some articles and printed them out, and I have them in my files, and I understand. Just to digress for a second, but this is probably the most important thing I'll say all day. What we strive for, what we should strive for, is a term I got, the past few years, which is just sums up what I've known before that, and that is emotional sobriety, right? So we don't want to be triggered by our emotions, so we can't think very well, or can't act very well because we're scared or frightened. So you want emotional sobriety. You want your emotions, but you want to respond to them, not react to them. There's a subtle difference. Anyway, so about...
No, that's why I put this, don't react, because what the deep breathing does is, it goes against the sympathetic and stimulates the parasympathetic nervous system,
Right.
which is rest and
I learned
digest.
about this when I was 18.
Yeah, I know we learn a lot of things, but we talk about it. What is more important is doing that with reverence.
That's my point. Anyway, let me finish my little story. So I'm in Phoenix with my wife and another couple, and we're at a little farmer's market thing in the middle of Phoenix, little market thing, and I see this coffee cup, and it's the coolest coffee cup I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It's handmade, it's got all this artwork on it, and it's only got one word and one item. And it's got all these flowers and stuff, and it's porcelain, which is different from other coffee cups. So the one item is a little, it's a bicycle, like a stylized bicycle. The other item that isn't nature is the word breathe, and it's all stamped in there, and it's in these things, and I loved it. It was like the coolest thing. And so I said to the guy, I saw the price, and it was $60 to the table.
Wow.
I'd never buy anything like that for $60. And so I asked the guy, his wife had made it, and she wasn't there. So I said, well, how often do you sell one of these things? He's in the market all the time, every week. Like, give me the honest truth. And he kind of sheepishly waited a few seconds, and then he said, well, maybe one every 6 months or something. Who's going to pay $60 for a coffee cup? And then my wife was there, and she's super sweet, and my birthday was coming up. She says, do you want it? And of course I wanted it, but I'm not going to pay $60 for the thing.
Yeah.
Even though I love the reminder to this breath thing, because to me that's the most important thing for me, because it gets me going to where I need to go. Yeah. That's a good reminder. Every day I have coffee, I can look at it and have a reminder of this breath work stuff. So she said, why don't you, I'll just buy it for you for your birthday. And I was like, totally, I was very appreciative of my wife doing it, because I wouldn't pay that money. It's ridiculous. So I have this coffee cup, and it's got breath, breathe on there to remind me of do all this stuff, not just that, but start with breathing.
At least it will take you away from the mental chatter, and you sit down and breathe. That's good thing. Yes. No, this is important. Visual cues, but in the beginning of the training, use them. Use them to remind you or get you to what you want to do. In my own yoga practice, when I started to really attend to the breathing with the intention yogis intended, my practice went to 100% improvement. So that's why I get up in the morning, sit on the side of the bed, and do the 10 deep breaths, right? And then do through the breathing practices for the wellness club. What I do is I tell them how the life force is coming. It's not the air only. It's the life force is coming. That's called Kumbha Nadi. That is the energy channel through which it comes, right? And then if you really prolong it, that is much better than shallow breathing. That's there. But the important thing is reverence to that life force. Without that, we are not here. And having done with that, that becomes a spiritual practice. Okay, not any particular dot, anything. Life itself coming into you and breathing. There's so much science in that. There's so much there written about it. But just if you practice only breathing, sitting down, that's good enough for you to get prepared in the morning. But then people have bodies that are stationary, that are kind of sitting down and all that. That's why I want them to stretch and breathe into it. Breathing is very important. That's true.
So there's another thing here. I don't know if you've studied Daniel Kahneman, System 1, System 2, humans have biases and all this other stuff. Basically, it's just what you were talking about, this emotional reaction rather than a response. And System 1 is all emotional, and it screws you up. You make bad decisions because you don't think clearly. So
No,
breathing.
there is a lot of science behind it too. I actively
Right.
treat people to not to react, even in my 7 principles in the morning. That is there. Don't react trivial, because what happens is our limbic loop, like I told you about, that takes
Yes.
over. So shallow
Yes.
breathing, reaction, and all that. And lots of times, if you just take a pause, things may be different. That's why.
The simplest thing is like if you're, and I'm not very
No, this is very powerful, the limbic system. It reacts even before you think. So that's why,
yeah. So I mean, we've all heard for decades that before you say something to your wife that you might regret or your girlfriend or whoever,
yeah,
just breathe for a second. Just
yeah,
count to three. The whole
yeah,
thing of count to three and breathe
yeah.
is like super powerful. I didn't know years
See,
ago
now
what we
I'm addressing the deeper aspect of non-reactivity by activating the parasympathetic nervous system with the deep breathing. There's a vagus nerve from the top to the bottom it goes, and that is a rest and digest system. Once that takes over, it's the antidote for the sympathetic tone we are generating with the reactions, trivial reactions. Okay, so don't do that. All you do, see, many people don't know what is deep breathing is, what is diaphragmatic breathing is. You can do that in the morning, in the evening, like a formal session, but through the day, I recommend 1 minute every hour. Just take 1 minute to deep breathe and come to the present moment. That is why you can avoid this information overwhelm, information overload, and all
I used to have an Apple Watch and I wore it all the time. And you can, it does this monitoring of your steps and a monitoring of your
that. Yeah,
stands. So
yeah,
you need to stand like 16 hours
yeah,
within each hour for 16 hours. If you get a stand in, then you have your stand ring fixed. Anyway, I also had an app on there for mindfulness, and you can prod it to do that every hour. So let's say you want it at at
yeah.
9:50. On the 50, you could have your app.
Yeah, initially these are aids. I also wear a data band. The Apple Watch was there, but now I got a more advanced AI-driven watch. That measures so many things. It also shows me pulse and blood pressure at any time, and also because I promote this to my patients as aids in the beginning, but once they have trained and also they may just record it, but then they review it and then they kind of present it at us and all that. That's there. But then I want them to be independent of these things also. That's the eventual training. And then as long as they want, they can use. I wear it all the time because I want to record all that is going on. So I don't have to do the new why because I was in this years ago. But it's a good thing for people to measure what is happening within the body in terms of vitals and oxygen saturation and all that. Yeah.
What's funny though is I've worn a watch since I was like 10 every day because my parents were really attentive to time, so I was attentive to time. But like 6 months ago or so, I decided I didn't like the Apple Watch because it was too triggering with all its notifications and stuff, and you're just like bound to your watch with texts coming in and stuff like that. So I decided I wasn't going to wear it when I'd always worn a watch, a regular watch. And then I decided, like young people, I didn't need a watch. I got my phone with me all the time, so I'm not going to wear a watch. And then I kind of liked it because it just
I don't know whether you have camera. You can see my band, data band. That is there. I took
I
out
was
the.
going to ask you. I was actually asking your opinion. So I've always been more of a use the tools and whatever tools are available, like an Apple Watch or a data band or whatever.
Yeah.
Use it because it's helpful. Don't let it take over your life, but
Yeah.
use it. But anyway, I've also been sympathetic to, like you just said a few minutes ago, start with the tools. But then once you kind of have some mastery that the tools aren't essential, maybe move beyond the tools. So I've been like freed up by not wearing a watch.
One of the tools you have to learn is your thought is a tool for you.
Right, exactly.
But you identify with it. That's where you are getting carried away with it.
Yes.
It's not a negative thing. It's just a human nature that we think we are our thought. That's it.
Yeah, it's real good.
Yeah. That's why in the morning practice, what I'm saying, watch the thought, be the witness of the thoughts. Then it becomes much more because you're not. See, thought is electrical, very powerful, and drives you everything away towards it. That's why observing the thought, really studying it, and then slowing it, and then if it is negative, convert it to positive. All that are very empowering tools. You can read, you can study, you can gather all the information, but control the thought, then you get a lot benefit with it. Otherwise, you spend a lot of energy in the thought itself.
Yeah, the thing that I was reminded of years ago, but you just triggered it. And this thing about breathing as a way to help your parasympathetic nervous part of your autonomic nervous system kick in, all that stuff. It is 100% good spiritual, philosophical practice to combine that, right? So when let's say you're mad at your wife or your whatever. So when you go through your breathing exercise, as soon as you start to go through the breathing exercise, also at the exact same time, because it's the exact same thing, say, I'm a watcher of my thoughts. So you're all triggered, and then you say, okay, I gotta breathe. And then as you say, I gotta breathe, you also say, okay, I gotta remember, I'm the watcher, I'm not the thought.
I will give a step ahead of all this.
Yeah.
Be aware of the anger at your life.
Yes.
Don't think, be aware.
Right.
Then that anger goes down, then subsequent this thought production and all this will not happen because you have calmed down. So that is the way to reduce the. Even Krishnamurti talks about it. If you are aware of your anger, it will go down.
Just to tangent to that, but relevant, I heard this thing, and that's really compelling to me in the past year or so, and I captured it stuff, so I have it in my notes. And it's this notion of your ability to deal with your emotions is radically better if you go through this exercise of providing more granularity to your emotions. Like, for instance, let's say you're mad, but you realize that you're mad at yourself. That's different than you're mad because someone bumped into you and it didn't have anything to do with yourself. Those are two different things. So maybe you could say irritation is different than anger. Anyway, the point is, if you could just put the words down, it's like instead of having 3 emotions, come up with 6, and then be able to identify differences across those 6 instead of before you just say either I'm mad or not mad. And just that little exercise helps you manage your emotions better.
Too much words, too much description. Mad is mad emotional is like it happens, right? Intense emotional reactions happen, but they go down if you learn to really understand where they're generated, how they are generated, why they are generated, what is the fear involved, what is the anxiety involved, and all that you got to do when you are not mad. And you are mad, you are not balanced. You are basically mad. The word itself describes that. But basically, word is not the description, is not the real thing. Staying the real thing that, emotional liability is very much because of the lack of understanding, ignorance that makes you react like that. Basically, you went into the limbic system rather than the prefrontal cortex. So the way to manage this is deep breathing and being in the moment, and also being aware of our demonic nature when we are angry with other people, but our divine nature is accepting and forgiving.
Yeah, the other thing that's a reminder to myself is like, if people are mad, it's serving them for some reason. So if you're mad, you're like, what am I getting out of this? Obviously, I'm getting something out of it because I'm in this mad state.
But you are cutting the harmony though. You may get a benefit, but the harmony is gone. So, like for example,
no, sorry. Ostensibly, you think you're getting some benefit. And obviously, if you're mad, it's the opposite of a benefit. So you have to say, why do I have this anger? Why is at some level of my being thinking that there's some service of this anger?
Again, Mark, you think and you talk too much. Just calm down. Everything will see. It's not important to know the information, but it's important to live the information.
300%.
Yeah, I know you know that, but your mind goes on. That's also an elephant you created. You got to Slow it down.
Yep.
Slow it down.
Yep.
But it's not bad, the knowledge you have. But are you living the knowledge? That's it.
Yeah, it's funny because I've written notes to myself for decades saying all that matters is what you do. So just be, right? Just be.
Ah.
It's my nature to be. It's my nature to be. In my head, I've been that way since I was trained as a baby. So
No.
it's like it's hard to just be.
Being is beyond that head.
Right.
So just to be, don't think, just be. Don't really emote so strong, just be. You know? If you do that, just be. Lots of energy saved, but also lots of problems saved. And also you're a better, healthy person if you do that. Anyway, it's almost 9 o'clock, Mark. I have things coming up now. And I'll talk to you later. Okay?
Thank you.
Okay.